morning. I haven't done a sketching exercise on Tayasui in a long time. So what I want to show you, I'm Laura Volpintesta. I'm a fashion illustrator, and I love to guide you in getting your own freedom in expressing through art, through figures, through fashion, through whatever path unfolds for you around our love of fashion. I don't know if you can see this very soft figure that I just sketched. And the reason I did that is that today I would like to remind you, someone asked me during a scope on Periscope the other day, they asked me what their my biggest piece of advice was. And I'm sketching with my finger right now on my iPad mini. What I want to show you, see how I sketched lightly? My biggest piece of advice, oh, I don't want that pen, hang on, is to sketch lightly. So what's that all about, you might ask? Well, okay, there's my pencil. I had just used a very, very light, very sheer pencil. If I click on this pencil tool at left, on the right, you're going to see these tools show up. Look again, opacity and size. So I can actually work with a very sheer pencil. I can also work with a very thin pencil. I have a lot of options. One reason I love Tayasui Sketches is because look what happens with the pencil when I layer it. It gets darker and darker, like a real pencil, with a nice gritty texture. Oh, I'm actually working on a canvas right now. I just realized that there's a canvas. There are different papers in this app, which is a really cool thing. I like to use a thicker pencil, so I'm going to work up to a bigger pencil, okay? And I sketched lightly with a lightly colored pencil, but you can sketch lightly with a regular pencil as well. And the reason, the biggest piece of advice I can give anyone in the beginning is to sketch lightly, which is something we don't think about because I'll always say the way we're schooled, the way our culture is, we really stress writing and reading so much, and we don't stress the arts that much in schools and things. And what happens is we start to think, when we come back to art, we tend to really approach it the same way that we approach writing. So we think we need a really clear, hard line and symbols that look like things. But the biggest thing I can advise you is to learn to sketch softly. I'm going to show you another really cool tool. If you sketch softly, then you can come back later with more clear details. I'm going to show you two really cool tricks before I end this tutorial. First, I'm going to go over here and pull up this blender tool. It looks like an ice cream cone, kind of. Okay, and I'm going to select the second blender tool and show you what happens if you blend your pencil. You're actually going to be able to smudge into your drawing. This is something I recommend whether you're using a drawing app or not. And what happens when you do that is you get to eliminate the line, which is really worth doing as a one-time exercise, because you'll be able to see shape and without seeing line for a minute. And I think because of what I told you about learning to write, we tend to really overemphasize line and forget that line is really talking about shape. So if I can eliminate all my lines here, I'll start to see the body in a new way. Okay, right? Do you know what I mean? And I just think that's really important, because then you'll see what you've really drawn without it being a symbol. You'll start to relate to that body as a shape and a solid form, so it's not white on the inside. You know, do you see how it kind of comes to life when you do that? So now I'm going to go up to the top right corner. Oops, that's way too big. Hang on. The top right, you see this little symbol up here in the top right? That's my layers tool. I'm going to click on layers, and you're going to see I have a layer down here. Oops. And I have another layer. I can use a layer above it. What that means is I can do a new drawing on a new layer. I'm going to use this marker, and I'm going to make it small, and I'm also going to make it, well, let's just try this. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. I like the chisel tip markers because the line is kind of uneven, and I'm just going to play with that one. I mean, you can play with any one you want. And I'm going to come in, and I'm going to show you how, if you add lines after you've explored your figure with light shape. Now granted, like in my courses and stuff, there's a lot of ways we're going to learn to focus on line and learn about line before we come in and do what I'm doing right now. But just to show you how seeing the body as a shape first and then bringing in your lines is a new way of seeing as well as a new way of drawing for many of us, and is very valuable. So my answer to my student's question the other day, you know, what's your biggest piece of advice? One of them is to start by sketching lightly. And another one of them is to really, really think about what it means to you when I say something about focusing on shape rather than line. You know, that when you sketch lightly and then smudge and you see her only as a shape and not only as a line, there's something important that happens to you both in your drawing experience and in your seeing experience. And I urge you to explore that. I'm using a sheer chisel-tipped marker now, picking out a skin tone and keeping it sheer so that I don't really lose my pencil lines. And then I'm going to take that pink again. I can pick it up by just putting my finger and hovering. You see that symbol? It's going to select that color as my color. But I'm going to bring the opacity up so now it becomes more opaque. And I'm going to take a smaller brush and just give her a little lipstick and some earrings. Is there anything else I want to add? Maybe a little like pattern all over the dress. It's holiday time around here, so kind of collecting, feeling a holiday spirit. Maybe put some bows on her ankles, some bangles on her wrists. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to just grab a little bit of green eyeshadow. And there we go. We got some festive kind of fun fashion. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. I'm Laura Volpintesta of Fashion Illustration Tribe, and hope you'll come over to my website or subscribe for more videos. Have a great day. There are free gifts on the website, Fashion Illustration Tribe. You get flat sketching sketchbook and guidebook that helps you draw garment details like pleats and gathers and things. It also includes a fashion croquis template that you can use to sketch designs onto, and it includes a set of videos including how to use your designer art supplies and how to draw a proportional standing figure for any body type. So I hope you'll check that out. That's all free when you subscribe at fashionillustrationtribe.com. My signature course is called Fashion Freedom Fashion, and it's like a full semester fashion course like the one I taught at Parsons for, I created it in 2008, the online version. I also taught it on campus for many years before that, and I also have a digital sketching class like this one that focuses on how to draw faces and portraits, which is a load of fun because faces are so expressive. So I hope you'll join me for more. Let me know if you have any questions about other videos you'd like me to share. Thank you.